join us already this morning. We're going to get started here in 2 or 3 minutes. Just a few little things about the seminar. Today we've got Stan Masters and Steve Lucas. Steve's going to start us off at a little after 10 o'clock this morning with a seminar on revenue optimization using contactless rentals. So we're happy to have him. And as always, we're happy to have Stan join us to keep us updated on everything we need to know in the legal world for self-storage in our state. So we are going to give it a few more minutes before we get started, but I'd like to thank everybody for being here. It looks like we had about 86 people register for this webinar. So Missouri continues to show us that we have a real need for online education. And so we thank you guys for helping to keep our participation numbers up for this. So it'll be something that we definitely do going forward. If you have questions for either speaker during the webinar today, please feel free to use your chat function down at the bottom of your screen or the Q&A button. Both of those will come to me. The chat is usually public unless you choose someone specific to send it to. Looks like we've got some coming in on the chat already. So thank you guys for your participation through that. And then if it goes to the Q&A, it will come to me and I will get it over to Stan or to Steve. So let's see what time we've got here. We'll give it about another minute before we start with Steve and the contactless revenue optimization strategies. Want to give a big thank you to the Storage Group too. They've done so much to help us this year with our online education. We definitely could not have done it without them. And we, just thank them for their help with that. So we'll give it another minute or so, and then Steve can get going. Thanks, Stacy, for your comment. We are happy to put this together and happy that we're getting such good participation from all of our members. Yes, Candace, we will have a recorded version of this webinar. I'm not sure when we'll have that posted, but I will check on that and let you know as soon as I find out. All right, I wanted to take care of just a little bit of association business today. We had a 25% growth in our membership last year, which is obviously really exciting and surprising because of the year of 2020. So we were really excited to see those numbers at the last board meeting, which was a couple weeks ago. We ask that you guys just continue to tell your neighbors about the MSSOA and the things that we're doing. And we also ask that you check your mail. We've got a newsletter coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then at the first of the year, about the first week in January, we'll have our membership renewals sent out. We're doing that a little bit different this year. Most likely we'll send out a postcard, and hopefully you can go online and pay. We seem to be having a really good experience with the online payment. And then if not, you can go ahead and send in your check to our PO box. So anyway, that is all the business we have for as far as the association goes. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Steve Lucas. How are you today, Steve? Thanks for being here.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for showing up. And hopefully we'll get some good information out to you here that should help you in your business moving forward. So does everybody see the shared screen? Are we good there, Shelley?
I can see it. Looks like you are ready to go.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so today we're gonna discuss a little bit about the contactless revenue optimization strategies. So basically, as you are all aware, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Doesn't look like things are going to lighten up too much anytime soon. So getting the frame of mind here really is not about the negative, but how to look at this as a as a positive way to do business and maybe changing some of your strategies to help the bottom line. So that's what we're going to do today. So the next slide, that's me. I'm the CEO and general managing partner for the storage group. We've been in business in the storage industry exclusively as a marketing company since 2010. We developed the first online move-in tool called Click and Store, and we'll cover a little bit about how robust that is of a online rental tool that you may want to check out, or at least make sure that what you're providing is something similar. What clients say about us. So just a few little plugs of some of the industry folks that we have worked for, talking about, their experience with the storage group, and we're pretty proud of that. Okay, for today, we're going to cover 6 different items. So the first is going to be online auctions and what that's about and why you should probably think of that as a strategy. We'll talk a little bit as well, online rentals, which I already hit on a little bit, what that's all about if you don't use it currently, and how it can help moving forward. The supply store, so we can talk about moving product that you may have in inventory, boxes, locks, storage type materials through online purchases. We'll talk a little bit about tenant insurance, obviously another nice online tool to have. Exclusively tenant insurance online, you can produce 100% visual offering to your potential renters, so the ball doesn't get dropped with that. Competitor data, we'll talk a little bit about what to think about and what to know about your competitors, how to find out and how to use that information for your benefit, your business benefit. And then we'll talk about value pricing. Been a lot of talk about value pricing, but I think you'll see from some of the tools that we have that we don't talk about it. We actually are producing results for our clients by utilizing some pretty neat technology. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about auctions. So what are auctions? Obviously, you all have been conducting auctions for many, many years, mostly in person. The online rental, the online auctions came to light about 4 or 5 years ago, and have obviously through this 2020 experience have picked up quite a bit of new clients and a lot more activity and visibility for online auctions. So basically, why? Bidder base. Your visibility is millions, right? I mean, if you have the visibility part through the auction company and also on your website, you have the ability to touch anybody that's in the internet world. And obviously that opens up the ability to make additional revenues by having a larger audience. Unit bids. So we get asked a lot about unit bids. Unit bids are typically averaging about $275. Not too bad, considering that this is all online. You don't need to worry about having an auctioneer, all of that type of face-to-face contact expenses that would normally be incurred. You don't need to let people that you don't know and maybe don't want to have on your property. So the pros are pretty high of why you would want to consider this. Fees, you only pay once the unit's sold, so there's nothing out of pocket with regard to financial exposure. Safety, again, minimizes groups on site, as I just said a little while ago. That may not be something that you would like to have. Okay, live auction page. So on the website, what we do is we integrate with some of the auction companies out there. So we put the live auctions directly on your website. Feature, with a separate page with real-time action, real-time bids, because it is integrated back and forth with the auction company. Digital visibility for your live auctions. Obviously, that's, again, you're in the internet world and not face-to-face, so your exposure to a larger audience is there. And then obviously through the integrations, all of this is integrated into your property management software. So transactionally, all of that happens, basically seamless. Okay, so moving from online rentals to, online auctions to contactless rentals. And I'm sure most of you are in this this business model now. If you're not, or you're wondering if there's other ways to capitalize on this type of tool, this section would be pretty good for you. So first of all, just some data on what we've been seeing, the online rental difference. So 59% of online rentals are outside of office hours. So obviously that now turns your facility into 24/7, 365 days of open. So people do transact in the off hours, and this pretty much shows it. The counter to this is the remaining portion of that percentage, 61%, is actually happening while you're open. And you would say, well, what's the advantage of that? Well, that gives time back and efficiency back to your manager, your property manager. While those online transactions are happening, they may be able to do some of the repairs, clean up things that they have on their to-do list that you've given them. And so there are pros to having the online rental tool available both on and off hours. What we've seen this year, this is huge. So far this year, year over year, we've seen 150% increase in rental use. Amazing. The technology curve, obviously, in this industry has been going up for years. And, compared to that tick up in technology, this number, this 3-digit number is just amazing. Never seen anything like this before. So people are obviously going to the transactional e-commerce piece. And then 135% increase in online payments. Very safe, secure. All our sites, all our transactions through Click and Store are kept on your website. We don't ship them off to other servers. The URL never changes. What's the benefit of that? People get nervous when the URL changes, right? They get nervous when it gets sent off somewhere. We may know some of the property management software URLs, and we're familiar with those. But as a potential renter or a renter, they don't know who that is. They don't know where they're being shipped off to. So inside of Click and Store, we keep them on your website for that transaction. Huge. So we get a lot of questions about the benefits or the cons, the pros and cons with regard to kiosks as opposed to online rental tool. And especially in this environment, people are very, I won't say nervous, but they think twice about how they transact, especially when they're not in front of their computer. So what are some of the things that are on their mind? What are some of the things that we hear? That's what I'm going to let you know here. So people are concerned about being on the property and doing things with on the property with regard to safety. So they want to make sure they're safe. They want to make sure that if they're transacting in cash, which most places, are getting away from cash because they're going to no contact, but they're concerned about that. Health. It's a lot easier and a lot healthier to work on your own computer. If you've cleaned it, you're familiar with the environment that you're working in. And so obviously that's the best, health-wise for you to be with. Security. ATM, all types, you've seen it, you've heard about it in the news, and it's quite frequent that, skimmers, they put skimmers into gas station pumps, they put them into ATMs. So there's always the risk that somebody may be skimming credit card. So again, the online rental and payment gets you away from that. And then obviously the inconvenience. People are just not traveling as much anymore as they used to. So big difference there. All right, so let's move into the supply store. What's that all about? So think Amazon, right? The best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, right? Doesn't need to talk to you, it just works. Basically what Jeff was saying, it's seamless. And what does seamless mean? Well, seamless means that you have product to sell, you have a technology way to sell it, but in the background, you're still being able to inventory it. The customer gets what they're looking for through the e-commerce transaction. Everything kind of just happens, and it's accounted for in the property management software. The money gets distributed to your credit card account. Very simple. And we've basically have put the online supply store with all property management software systems We have that direct integration. And so what does that do? Well, it caters to the needs of your customer, right? Customers are looking for whatever they need for this move-in. And so when they move in, you're giving them the ability to get it all in one place, right? So think of the old days, and even now, if you go to a fast food restaurant, they're always trying to round out the order, right? So if you order a burger, they want to, would you like fries with the burger? Would you like a Coke with that? So the idea there is you have the buyer in front of you. So in front of your website, you're going to give them what they may need to, for the move-in or for storage or for any of that type of stuff. So tape, boxes, bubble wrap, etc. You've got a captive audience, which again, I said earlier, they're checking out, they're doing the rental, they're signing the lease, they're making payment, they're putting their credit card in for future payments. And during that process, you're offering them the ability to get other things that they may need for this transaction or to complete the process that they're involved in. Additional revenue. We're all looking for new ways to boost that bottom line. Certainly, if you can sell more things in the online environment through your website, it's all good, right? And then provides a safe alternative to buy supplies. So you have the ability to start moving some of that inventory again, some of that retail sales. Exclusive feature of the online rental store from Click and Store. We released it in 2020. So the summer of this year, we released the full online version. And again, it connects and integrates with all the property management software systems out there. And then, yeah, so, so that's it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the online move-in renting, and renting as easy as Amazon. So our new format for Click and Store, which has been rolled out over the last 18 months, and we've finished that rollout just a few weeks ago. We have built Click and Store to be an online e-commerce model. And what does that mean? Well, most of you have purchased from Amazon, maybe Best Buy, maybe Target, Walmart. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And there is a specific, what we call UX, user experience. There's a user experience that you expect. You expect the cart to look a certain way. You expect reviews to be in there. You expect to see things in a certain, you've been trained. We all been trained to see that. So we mimic that. We duplicated that entire type of environment because people are used to that. And it's very simplistic for them, very intuitive to make and go through the process. So basically we offer, what you're seeing on the screen is what we offer with regard to add-ons, different things in the supply chain that you may have, and that goes right alongside of the rental that you're making. Tenant insurance. Let's talk a bit about that real quick. So tenant insurance, I'm sure a lot of you have that already. If you don't, something certainly to think about with regard to revenue optimization. I've got some numbers here that just kind of give you an idea of what this may mean. So 550 units at a 90% average occupancy. 495 of those units are rented. Basically, you'd be looking at somewhere in the realm of $2,000 of revenue a month. So again, something that is very, very important. If you're not doing it, you may want to look into it. Works very well for many, many, many people in the industry of broadening their financial revenue piece. We've got a lot of friends in this business. So we have a comment here from Kevin Bledsoe. He's, if you don't know him, he's the vice president of brokerage over for IRE, which is out of Pennsylvania. And basically, Kevin says here, tenant insurance serves a very important value for the self-storage owners. From my experience, owners can add significant value to their property when considering a sale. When tenant insurance programs are implemented, it can increase value between $50,000 and $400,000, depending on the size of it. So not only are you making money month to month, you're actually building additional asset value by having this program in place. Very simple, tenant insurance online. offer coverage plans. There's different levels of coverage. People can select the insurance, you can select the insurance provider that integrates with your management software system. And we pull it in, again, seamlessly into Click and Store, into the transaction. So it can be offered to 100% of folks that are in the online transaction. Basically, this is what it looks like. So the screen is very simplistic. The date needed obviously would be their move-in date. They can select from the type of insurance. And then if you're offering discounts, we can offer that here as well. Okay, competitor data. Let's talk a little bit about what that means. So obviously, competition is in every industry. That's what we have here living in the United States, this great country. And so I'm going to give you some ideas and maybe some helpful information to think of how you can manage competition and how you can optimize some of your revenue strategy by technology. So 100% occupancy shouldn't be the goal. And that sometimes when I say that, that steps on people's toes and they're like, what do you, where are you going with this? What do you mean? That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's peel back the onion a little bit and talk about that. So maximize revenue potential. So obviously economic occupancy is a word that we talk about. So there's physical and then there's economic occupancy. So if your facility is around 100% occupied, your rates are too low. Probably don't want to hear that either, but let me take you through this scenario here and kind of maybe uncover a few things for you. Missing out on potential profit, always a big concern. So difference in occupancy type. So we have here in this little demo slide that we have is figure if you have 100, and I just using some round numbers here, so don't hold me to the numbers, but just for an example. 100 units, physical and economic, right? Same, 100. Rented units, you've got 90% physical, 90% economic. So in the economic model, let's consider that maybe 10 of those 100 units are a 50% off discount, okay? So what that carries to the bottom line is in the physical, your occupancy rate, obviously 90% of 100 is 90%. Once you take in the discounted value in the economic side, now your occupancy rate is only 85%, meaning that that extra 5% of revenue you basically put aside or let go. So that's something to think about with regard to the discounting. Not to say discounting is bad, but to have the knowledge on proper discounting is very important. So where to start? Find a tool that assist in the making of the database, making database decisions. Very important. Easily locate competitor rates. So you want to know what their rates are, and we'll able to show you that here in a moment. And then collect data. Demographics is huge, right? Are you in a college town? Are you in a very affluent area of town? Are you in more of a mixed use area, meaning between business and maybe multifamily? So knowing all of this and knowing what that demographic is all about is extremely important, right? Okay, so in this shot that I'm giving you, we're taking a look at what we have in our dashboard. It's called Market Intel. We actually scrape information from a 25-mile radius around your facility, and we show you unit sizes, we'll show you some of the amenities, and then we'll also give you inside there what the rates are showing for that facility. Inside, well, I'm going to go back just for 1 second. Also, one of the slides I don't show you is inside this dash, we also give you the US Census demographic information for your specific area. So you can go to that directly in the dash and be able to see what the demographic is, what the household makeups are, all of that information that is very important in the pricing algorithm, right? So that information is all at your fingertips. We provide that to you in the back dashboard for you. Okay, number 6, value pricing. We'll talk a little bit about what that is and the technology that we've built to support it. So value pricing is very basic and elementary, right? There's a good, better, best. If you shop anywhere online, you'll see that. If you shop for cars, you know, recently I just got a Jeep Gladiator. Well, they've got the sport model, right? They've got the Rubicon model. They got the Mojave model. So each of those models, if you took the model away, it would be good, better, best. So there's a way that all vendors, all manufacturers have a way to segregate good, better, best in the in that relationship. What you're trying to do, obviously, is put a little bit more money in your pocket, but also you want to give your renter, your client, your customer, the ability to select. And if you do that, that's arms above what your competitors are allowing them to do. One size doesn't fit all. Okay, benefits. Let's talk a little bit about benefits of value pricing. You want to ensure the tenant receives the best value for any given unit. And you know, in your facilities, in your buildings, you know what units are of better value and which ones are probably not of better value in relationship to where the security cameras are, where they're located on the property. Are they on ground floor if you have a vertical? Are they up higher? You know, are they close to the office? Are they close to the restroom? All of these things, again, work in conjunction with your pricing algorithm or what you should put together for pricing. Purchasing confidence online. So people they expect to see choices. If you're providing them that, you're giving them the best user experience. Potential with online rentals, you're maximizing that profit. You're providing choices for the customer, which again is really the most important part. Easiest way to automate and maximize unit rates. So I've shown you that and you're like, well, how do we do that? Well, we have the ability to do that for you. Value pricing online rentals. So we'll automate there ourselves, as well as there are some automation algorithm pricing vendors in this space. One of them comes to mind right off the bat is Veritech. Some of you may have heard or may not have heard, but been around for a while. So they have the way to actually automate the entire pricing structure based on algorithms. They feature unit upgrade options during the online checkout, and then obviously using an automated system to update the rates daily is very important. If you don't have that ability, we certainly give methodology inside our technology for you to price units, to give them good, better, best significance. And so this is a screenshot of one of our maps, but basically you'll see in the right-hand corner, it says good, better, best. So it's color coded. That can all be changed. We can change good, better, best to other words, but in any event, now you're giving your client the option. They can see throughout your map here, the different color codes, so they know what's a good, better, best. And when you click into this, we don't show you this, but when you click on specific units, it can actually tell you why it's an upgraded unit. So we could actually list under the best, one of the best units, we could put right beneath the security camera or near the elevator, anything like that, that you may feel is pertinent. So that's the technology. A lot of folks talk about good, better, best pricing. We do have an ability for you to project that online and to give your potential new customers the ability to select what fits their needs. Okay, just about done. Contactless revenue optimization takeaways. I'm sorry, I stayed up late last night watching TV. I'm sure most of you did, so I'm trying to get through all this morning. Digital dependency, online is where it's at. And I don't think anybody can really argue that any longer. We're certainly in a society or world that online is just about everything now. And people expect everything to be there. So certainly you want to give them that ability. Ancillary revenue, obviously, in this scenario, again, we're all trying to look at new ways to bring in revenue or new revenue streams in this digital model that we're all operating in. And so we're giving you the ability to offer some of those, and you certainly should be doing some of the, tenant insurance auctions, good, better, best, value pricing. All of these things can add additional dollars to the bottom line. Customer convenience. Why wouldn't you want to give your customers, current customers, potential new customers, the best experience in your geographic area? Why wouldn't you want to be the leader with the most technology? People are looking for that, seriously looking for that. And if you're offering it, guess what? You're the one that's going to be putting the big bucks in your pocket. Leverage data, turn information into profit power. We taught, that's this whole presentation basically was trying to explain that to you, and I hope I did a good job. And then create efficiencies. Obviously, we talked about a few of them. Certainly, going back to the 61% move-ins during open hours, that now gives your manager and your site crew time to do some of the other needed work that again, on the to-do list. Okay, that's the storage group. That's what I got to offer today. Here's some information for my director of sales. If you're interested in getting some additional information, you can call us, our email, Jay Baker, Jill. She's been with the company since 2013, knows the industry very well. And if you don't even want to buy anything, that's fine too. We get a lot of folks that just call us just to get information from one of the industry leaders. And that's all I got, Shelley.
Thank you so much for the information, Steve. I do have a couple things I wanted just to point out from the MSSOA side. The storage group does our website at mssoa.org, and just a little bit of data from the improvements that we've seen as far as how our members use our website. Website use is up about 85% since we moved over to the storage group's platform. They helped us make joining online much smoother and much more attractive to members. And I know that you guys, okay, sorry, I was on mute there for a second. And I know that a lot of our members using the website are getting things that they need more efficiently. And we've just seen, what I'm trying to say is you guys know what you're doing. And we are really appreciative of that. And we're glad that we got to partner with you guys on our website. It's made a huge difference in our association this year. So helping to move us forward and keep our members getting the information they need. So quick question, how, what's usually the process for getting set up with Click and Store? And when, and what's the process for getting a demo if people wanted to do that? Sure.
And that's relatively easy. If you reach out to, through the phone, through the email to Jill, if you ring the phone, you'll be connected directly with customer support, and they certainly can set you up with a demo. Okay. Typically, we can do that same day, happens really quick. Walk you through what it is, how you can use it, what customizations, because we have a lot of customizations we offer our clients. So we can turn things on and off, and whatever your business model is, we can certainly almost come to a T in mimicking what you want us to do. And setup is relatively easy. We can do it on our website, obviously. We also can do it on websites that are not the storage group websites. And again, it just keeps everybody on your website, on your URL. And yeah, that's kind of pretty easy.
All right, good deal. And then what's usually the process for, about how long does it take to get set up? So they started with you today. What day are we looking at launching those services?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that always has to do with customer and vendor alignment, right? So we've got to work very closely together. The closer we work together, the faster it is. Again, we go through a questionnaire. We take you through options. So not everybody wants to use click and store the same. Some want move-in, some don't want move-in, some want quick reserves, some don't. Some want a credit card on file for future months, some don't. So we go through all that with you. Obviously, we want to pick your branding up. So, you know, getting the palette colors that your logo and your brand is built on. We want to brand what we do specifically to your brand. And then basically it's, you know, getting facility IDs and setting up that integration with your property management software system. You know, that it could be as quickly as a week. If we're getting a website built at the same time, you know, we're probably looking at more of 4 to 5 weeks. But again, it really has to do with, if you really want to get this done, we really want to get it done. And sometimes we lose clients, they get too involved in other things, or they give projects to people that are too busy. So, you know, as long as the environment's right, we can get it done relatively soon, Shelley. Are you there? I'm not hearing anybody.
Hi, Steve. I think Shelley's internet took a little break. She looks like she dropped off, but she'll be logging back in a few moments.
Okay.
Just give her a few, but we can then go ahead and transfer it over to Stan Masters and go over the legal update.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let me make sure I can get my my slides up, and then we'll get started. Give me just a moment.